Challenges in fostering teacher agency. Good day, future educators. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most important aspects of teaching, that is, teacher agency. What does that mean? Simply put, it's about teachers having the power, resources, and support to make a real impact in their classrooms and beyond. However, here's the challenge. While policies are made to empower teachers, reality often paints a different picture. Have you ever heard of the story of a sculptor who was given a blunt knife and asked to carve a masterpiece? That's exactly how many teachers feel when policies are written without truly addressing their needs. Let's explore the gaps between policy and practice and see how we can bridge them. There are three key blind spots in policies that affect teachers. The first one is student centric focus. Most policies prioritize students, which is great. However, what about the teachers? If teachers are not given the right support, how can they provide the best education? For instance, a chef being told to cook a five-star meal without proper ingredients. That's exactly what happens when teachers are expected to deliver excellent education without sufficient support. The second one is resource neglect. Many policies sound wonderful on paper but lack funding for real implementation. A government might announce a teacher training program. However, if there are no funds to conduct the workshop, what is the use? The third is accountability gaps. Policies exist, but who ensures they are carried out effectively? Without proper monitoring, policies remain just words. Think of a sports coach who creates a training plan, however, never checks if the players are practicing or not. Can the team improve? Absolutely not. We also have resource constraint. This brings us to a major challenge, lack of resources. Let's break it down. The first one is funding shortfall. Teacher development programs often receive little or no funding. Then there is also infrastructure deficits. Many schools lack basic infrastructure. Forget about digital resources, forget about other resources. Many schools lack even the basic resources. And then there is also limited access. Rural schools are the hardest hit, often left out despite policy promises. There's a teacher in a small village who walks miles every day to teach students under three. Because why? There's no school building. That particular teacher uses stick to draw on the ground because there's no blackboard. Policies talk about education for all. However, where are the resources for this particular teacher? Then there is lack of accountability. Policies are written, but what happened next? Policies on paper. Most of the time, policies exist but are not implemented. Secondly, there is monitoring deficit. There are no system to check if policies are working or not. Then there is also the implementation failure. Teachers do not receive the promised support. A school receives funds for technology, but the money never reaches the teachers. No one checks, and the students continued learning with outdated methods. The result? A generation left behind. The National Education Policy 2020 is a great example. It emphasized teacher empowerment. But let's look at the realistic policy aims. What does the policy aims? NEP 2020 supports teacher training and professional development. Rural reality is that many teachers lack basic digital infrastructure and training. We don't talk about it only in rural areas, even in the cities itself. Many teachers lack basic digital infrastructure and training. A passionate teacher wanted to teach coding in his village. The government provided an online coding course, but there was no internet. How can a teacher implement new policies without proper tools? So, this is a big question mark. However, despite all these challenges, we have possible solutions. To bridge these gaps, we need regular assessments of policies. Here's how. The first one is regular reviews. Policies should be checked for effectiveness. Secondly, is that stakeholder input, where teachers should be included in decision making. The third one is adaptive strategies, where policies should change based on real challenge. Another possible solution is funding allocation. We all know that money is a game changer, and here's how it should be used. The first one is dedicated funds, which means to ensure money is specifically allocated for teacher development. Secondly is targeted programs, where support programs that address teachers' real needs must be present. Thirdly is the resource equity, which means to ensure all schools, especially the rural ones, get equal resources. If every teacher received a yearly grant to improve their skills, imagine the transformation in education. So, dear future educators, the power to change education is in your hands. You're not just teachers, you are builders of the future. When we work together to bridge the gap between policy and reality, we create an education system that truly empowers teachers and students alike. Let's not just read about policies, let's challenge them, improve them, and make them work for real classroom. Thank you, and let's keep striving for a better future.